The next steps in the push to end this war in Ukraine. The White House says President Trump again spoke with Russia's Vladimir Putin yesterday in what the Kremlin says was a 40-minute phone call. Now, that came after Ukraine's President Zelenskyy visited the White House yesterday along with key European allies. The group got the president to agree to security guarantees for Ukraine. Nancy Cordes is at the White House. Good morning, Nancy. We understand there is an effort now to have Putin and Zelenskyy meet face-to-face. Do you really think that's going to happen anytime soon?
I think this is the greatest chance we've seen so far, Gayle. Good morning. During that call with the Russian president, President Trump worked to arrange this meeting between Putin and Zelenskyy, which the German chancellor told reporters could happen within the next 2 weeks. This would be the first meeting between these two leaders since the war began 3.5 years ago. And a Russian spokesperson, though, would only say that high-level talks would take place and did not confirm that Putin himself would be involved.
And I have a feeling you and President Putin are going to work something out.
5 hours of meetings between President Trump, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, and European leaders yielded two key results. First, a promise from President Trump that the U.S. will help provide security guarantees designed to protect a post-war Ukraine from future invasions by Russia.
The other material outcome was the agreement that will now be a bilateral agreement between President Putin and President Zelenskyy.
That was British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, one of 7 European power players who all flew into D.C. in a show of support for Zelenskyy.
And thank you very much for your efforts.
After Trump appeared to find common cause with Putin last week following their summit in Alaska.
We had an extremely productive meeting and many points were agreed to.
In a revealing hot mic moment yesterday, Trump seemed to suggest to French President Emmanuel Macron that Putin would end the war as a favor to him.
I think he wants to make a deal for me. You understand? As crazy as it sounds.
Trump did agree with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen that the return of an estimated 20,000 Ukrainian children kidnapped by Russia at the start of the war should be a top priority.
Every single child has to go back to its family.
But Trump remained lukewarm Monday on the need for a ceasefire, even as the Europeans insisted there must be an immediate end to Russia's daily bombings before serious peace talks can begin.
I can't imagine that the next meeting would take place without a ceasefire. So let's work on that and let's try to put pressure on Russia.
The group did not discuss what should happen to the 20% of Ukrainian territory that is currently controlled by Russian forces. Zelenskyy said that's a matter he'll only hash out with Putin himself.
All the sensitive things, territorial, etc., we will discuss on the level of leaders during trilateral meeting.
And so now the pressure is on Putin to accept and attend this meeting. He has always had a long list of demands that he said needed to be met before he would sit down with Zelenskyy. But he told Trump on Friday he was open to it. So the world will be watching Vlad to see if he follows through.
All right, Nancy, thank you very much.